We're very privileged to have with us today Mr. BS Bassi, the Police Commissioner of Delhi. First of all, sir, policing Delhi, a city that is the capital of India, which is growing so rapidly, millions of people. And one would wonder, is the size of the police force enough? I mean, you have what, about 84,000 is the strength of the force. Are you satisfied with it?
It's a very difficult question. As a professional police officer, if I say yes, I'm stuck. If I say no, then definitely it will not be appropriate on my part to discuss the constraints in this fashion. You see, as you know, Delhi is a large mega city, and the population is almost touching 2 crores, because as per the 2011 census,
That's right.
it was 1.67 crores. So we estimate that presently it is around 2 crores. Then a variety of other, being the political capital of the country, the number of issues. The force is around 85,000. To say that it is inadequate will be absolutely incorrect on my part. But definitely, is it adequate? That also may not be correct on my part. But for the time being, it gives us enough hands to ensure that people in Delhi are safe.
But given this size of force, what is the major challenge that you face as the Police Commissioner of Delhi? The biggest challenge, in your opinion?
See, if it's a twin. One, of course, is the safety and security of people, and secondly is the city must keep moving. So when I say safety and security of people, this includes prevention and detection of crimes. It also includes prevention of any terrorist act or prevention of any act by organized criminals.
Right.
And then when I say city must keep on moving, we must ensure enough presence on city streets so that people feel confident when they are moving in the city, whether during the daytime or during the night hours. And also the traffic must be managed in a fashion that, notwithstanding 85 lakh vehicles in the city, the city roads should not become clogged. And we know that if we are not careful, we can have a gridlock very easily, because once in a while, whenever we have seen a gridlock around C-hexagon,
Right.
maybe some if I may say, delay in taking appropriate action for a few minutes had led to the gridlock. So these are the twin challenges, if I may say so. That is, one, safety and security of the citizens, and two, ensuring that the people in the city can move safely.
So, I mean, Delhi being the capital of India also has the central government. It also has the Delhi government, and Delhi government is constantly raising concerns about law and order, that it's not in their hands, and and they put the blame squarely on Delhi police, and they are also quoting various recent surveys saying that the police is amongst the most corrupt. You've also said that if a person catches somebody taking a bribe, you will give them 25,000 rupees. Are you serious about all this?
You see, we are very serious. You see, as far as criticism is concerned, that is, we don't mind criticism. In fact, I consider, and I'm of the firm view, that criticism gives us food for thought. If people only are going to praise me, definitely I may become complacent. Criticism by any quarters, including the Delhi the government, we don't mind. But as regards corruption is definitely a very serious issue which confronts the society and also police. I must ensure that my systems are transparent, and wherever element of corruption is there during the interaction of public with police, so I should make the process so simple and so sort of transparent,
Right.
that any chance of corruption in that disappears. And in that regard, we have taken a number of steps. And when this survey came, when I also read that in the newspapers, even I was quite taken aback, and but I was taken aback. But at the same time, it motivated me further to see what is still wrong with police.
Yes.
So I decided to get a copy of the CMS report. I went through the report from cover to cover, and I found the report was very flattering as far as Delhi police is concerned. You see, in the year 2013, 80% of the respondents who had interacted with police, they said that they have experienced corrupt activities on the part of policemen.
Right.
And in the year 2015, this number has come down to 34%. This is a great compliment on our effort. There were certain respondents who had not interacted with police. Then they were asked whether you think police is corrupt. So 56% of the persons, they said we think police is corrupt, though they had no interaction with police.
Right.
In the year 2015, this number has come down to 39. In some newspaper, it has been reported as 49, but this has come down to 39%.
So the graph is going down. You feel
if
that
I may say, ego, and it shows that things can be improved.
Sure.
Removing corruption or eliminating corruption is not impossible,
Okay.
and we are going to work further on certain processes so that corruption becomes a thing of past as far as Delhi police is concerned.
One of the biggest concerns in Delhi, of course, is the safety of women, and we know that, of course, this rape case of the minors is still very much in the public domain. And one of the comments that you made was that if we had more creches, perhaps we wouldn't have these kind of problems. And you also said moral education is necessary for schools. Now, what do you actually imply by this, sir?
You see, this, if I don't know whether you have seen the letter which I had written to Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Delhi.
Yes.
You see, in this letter, I very clearly said there are a number of ideas which come to my mind which can help in reducing crime against women, and action in those areas need to be taken by the government because they are beyond the competence of police. You see, definitely, if you have number of crashes, a large number of working mothers who are leaving their children home alone, exposed even to the elements of nature, they will prefer to send their children to the crashes. Similarly, crime against women is a problem of mindset. We need to see how we can correct the wicked mindset on the part of men.
Sure.
One measure definitely is that if we introduce value education, if you may recall, Honorable PM at the ramparts of Red Fort had said
Yes.
that every mother should tell his son what he should do. Similarly, in schools also, if we tell the boys how should they conduct themselves vis-a-vis girls.
Right. But these are suggestions that are
These are
outside your
suggestions.
hands. So they are
Because
outside they're not policing
you
measures.
See, you see, notwithstanding the fact that they are not within our domain,
Yes.
yet we are doing it. You see, we have started an operation named Shishtachar,
Okay.
where we, about 1,200 young girls had recently joined Delhi police. We are using them in civil dress. They are deployed at so-called vulnerable locations, and those who indulge in harassment of women on the street,
Yes.
they are apprehended, and then they are booked for the crime which they might have committed. In addition, they are also counseled. We take the help of spiritual leaders, we take the help of social scientists, we take the help of psychologists. Apart from booking them for the crime which they might have committed, they are also put through a counseling session. And then there are certain persons, you see, when you talk to the women, when you talk to them about their safety, it's not only when very serious crime of rape is committed or a crime of domestic violence is committed, or the harassment of women is done or outraging of modesty is done. The women also feel uncomfortable if men in public spaces unnecessarily ogle at them.
Okay.
So what we have done in this Operation Shishtachar, when we find some men are unnecessarily staring
Yes.
or overstaring or ogling at the women, they are also apprehended. They are brought to the police station. Of course, they cannot be booked under for any crime, because ogling is not a crime yet. Though women do not like this, so they are counseled. We use spiritual leaders, we use counselors, we use psychologists, we use sociologists. Objective is that the men must know
Okay.
this is not liked by the women. Men must know this is not permissible under the law. The men must know if they do this, they are going to be taken to task. Other thing which we have done is, we have started an exercise called Nirbhik. Nirbhik is that you should be fearless. So our officers, women officers, and also certain NGOs who are assisting us in this exercise, they go to girls' schools and colleges, particularly schools, where they talk to the young girls. They make them aware of the dangers which may lurk around them.
Right.
Because our experience is that a number of crime against women are committed in private spaces by persons who are not strangers, but they are known to the victims. So they are made aware of the threats and also made aware how they can resist and how they can prevent becoming a victim. And they are also encouraged to share any misdemeanor which might have been committed against them, or any crime which might have been committed against them, and they are assured, they are by psychological counseling, by very friendly counseling. And we have come across cases where a girl, a young girl, reported that her father had been sexually assaulting her for quite some time, and even the mother knew it, but mother couldn't do anything because the father used to harass the mother also. And similarly, one brother was harassing his sister, and when our mother used to intervene, he used to beat his brother. And similarly, then one teacher was, complaints were received against a teacher who had been harassing students for variety of excuses. So we have taken action against all these persons who had committed crime.
Yes.
Every week, our women officers go to the school. They sit for half an hour. They again interact with the students. And this we have started, and this is becoming a very powerful tool in identifying if there is any child who is victim of any sexual harassment by any known person or a stranger in the private spaces.
Minister of State for Home Affairs also has made a comment, that people in Delhi, he was quoting another statement made by a former Lieutenant Governor of Delhi who had said it then, that people want to break the law and then they are proud of breaking the law and actually boast about it. How does one change that kind of a mindset?
See, I will not like to, identify any particular group in this regard. I will say that we are talking of persons with wicked mindset. We have to take care of. They may be from anywhere.
Okay.
There are crimes, like you see, there are rapes which are committed in total private spaces by persons who are known, and the victim doesn't know of the intention of the perpetrator till the time the act is committed or act starts. Because she thinks he is my well-wisher, a friend, employer, colleague, maybe doctor, or maybe a person who is a neighbor or a relation, etc. Till the time the person with wicked mindset assaults, the woman may feel that he is one of my well-wisher. So in those places we can do very little. Here what we are doing is, we are trying to create an awareness. We have identified places which are more vulnerable for such crimes.
Okay.
By analyzing the crime data, there are certain areas where we find this sort of crime is comparatively more. So we have deployed women police officers as beat officers they go interact with the women to educate them, and also tell them about the indications which may be there about the mentality of such persons. And they also in case any deviant behavior is noticed, then effective action is taken.
So what about the police itself acting as a friend of the people? People are afraid of the police. That's what even the Home Minister yesterday was talking. In that context, that may not be of Delhi, but in generally he was talking that people are so afraid of even talking to the police because they are the hand of the law. Are there methods, some sort of community policing, where the policeman appears like a person you can approach?
You see, I'll tell you, policing is nothing but community policing. We cannot function in isolation. Policeman has to function as a part of community. You see, I'll tell you, we have seen that the mistrust,
right,
over a period of time we have been able to reduce the mistrust. This can be achieved only if we are open,
okay,
we are transparent in our functioning, and we are friendly, and that is what our attempt is. Make processes simpler,
yes,
transparent and friendlier.
So we are in the festival season, and there have been some incidents in the neighboring states that have been of concern, especially intolerance, communal in nature. What kind of precautions are we taking, and to see that this doesn't spill over into Delhi?
Communal harmony is not a product of the efforts of policing only. It is a product of the efforts of police as well as community. So we are aware of the developments, and whatever is required to be done by way of community involvement, by way of deployment of police personnel, by way of tightening of intelligence gathering. So all that is being done, and wherever necessary additional manpower is required, where we are deploying additional manpower also.
So all that apparatus is very much in place, and Delhi is going to be safe now. There are no,
Yes,
what are the threats or anything like that? What
You
kind
see-
of advice would you like to give the
good wishes
citizens?
of people are with us, and I will advise people that they should not feel that police is not a part of community. Police and community are in fact, in my opinion, are one and the same. Police cannot function without community's participation in policing, and I can assure the people of Delhi that we are committed for their safety, in particular committed for the safety of vulnerable sections, including women and children, and we have been doing everything necessary in that regard, and we shall ensure whatever is necessary is done in future also.
What about incidents against the people from the northeast on the wane, sir, after you all have created that special
You
cell?
see, we have created a special cell. There are a lot of awareness in areas where they are living. We have been able to involve the local population, and also we have created platforms where the local inhabitants interact with the persons from the northeastern part of our country on a regular basis. Then also we have a very vibrant relationship with the representatives of Northeast, those who come from the northern part of the country. And fortunately in UT Cadre, most of us have served in the Northeast. Like I have served in Arunachal Pradesh from 81 to 84 at a time when there was no television in those areas. And so we understand the sentiments better, and we are facing absolutely no problem.
So the Delhi government wants to have 22nd of each month as a car-free day. You were against that for some reason, but now,
we
how
were
would you
not
look at
against
it?
it?
Yes.
You see, car-free is a wonderful idea. In fact, in particular, as a person, you see, I happen to be the person who introduced car-free for the first time in India in the year 2001,
Okay.
if I remember correctly, or maybe 2000. You see, when I was IGP Chandigarh, areas around Sukhna Lake, were made car-free areas on every Saturday and Sunday, and since then it is continuing in Chandigarh. You see, when I saw that this decision has been taken to do it on 22nd, I thought because 22nd is day of Dashera,
Yes.
it perhaps is not the best day, but anyway, later the issue was discussed further, and we agreed because this was a day for voluntary boycott of the cars.
Yes.
But I'm told not many people have really done that, because throughout the city people were moving around in cars. My suggestion will be, whenever we observe the car free day, it should be observed by involving the community and the officials, all government officials, rather than they on that day should not travel by car at all.
Okay.
So
But
whatever assistance
logistically,
is
it may be
required-
very difficult. So look at the size of the city, and the public transport is already bursting.
If the people who are working as clerks, who are working as teachers, who are working as laborers, if they are traveling by metro, they are traveling by DTC buses, I'm sure the topmost officers of Delhi administration and connected organizations can also move without cars on a car-free day.
So one final question. So Delhi is, we have reports about the law and order situation. Generally people are very negative. Also, it's a city which is polluted, the most polluted city in the world. And you're in a position of importance to police the city, to man it. What can be done to, change the face, quite simply?
You see, as far as law and order is concerned, because that is an area which directly concerns me, even pollution also concerns me, but I'll first answer the question on law and order. You see, Delhi is one area, one city which has no-go area. You see, all over the world, even in the most advanced countries, in their mega cities, there are no-go areas. Anybody and everybody can go anywhere. This is because of our extensive presence on the street, our excellent response time in case of any distress call, because if anybody gives a rings to 100, and if it is an actionable call, we have the capacity to respond between 5 to 10 minutes to the distress call. Excellent presence, excellent response time, excellent post-incident investigation. That makes Delhi safe. Yes, we have a lot of incidents. We have over 1,50,000 cases in a year. But 1,50,000 cases, when you compare it with many other cities, there is nothing like an organized gang which has been existing since, say, 60s and has been continuing to date. There is no criminal who can operate at will. They operate by stealth, and whenever they operate, our post-incident investigation is invariably able to crack those cases. And as far as pollution, you see, pollution is one area that is directly related to the chaotic traffic in Delhi. In the last few months, we have taken a lot of action against the commercial vehicles for violating norms set by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. If you travel in Delhi, you know that during the day, one used to find that commercial vehicles are traveling on the left side, but in the night they used to travel all over the road. In the last 2-3 months, we have been deploying large number of men in the night from traffic unit, and we have been able to discipline the commercial vehicles in the night also. So when a vehicle is following the norms, the pollution is also comparatively less, because you have lesser traffic jams, you have lesser snarls. So if there are lesser jams and snarls, so obviously the pollution discharge will be comparatively less. If the vehicle is running at an average speed of 30 to 40, then the pollution is comparatively less. Eventually, we need to improve our public transport. We need to go in for perhaps elevated BRT corridors. In fact, we have suggested to, when we had given our comments about the BRT corridor which was existing then, we had suggested that the new BRT corridors should be made, which should be elevated roads where not only the passenger vehicles can ply, but also goods carrier can be permitted to ply at a premium, and similarly some and the emergency vehicles can use the BRT corridors. So we need to think out of box to improve the quantum as well as the quality of public transport, because unless we improve the quality of public transport, people will not migrate from scooters to or motorcycles to buses, or from cars to buses and metro, because many people who want to travel by metro today,
Right.
they find it extremely difficult to travel during the peak hours. So they are instead using cars. So we need to increase the quantum as well as the quality by going for out of box solutions.
Mr. Bassi, thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you.